Hi guys, it's late night live streaming with Ray. 10:51 on the way back from the Swansea game. I think we're still on the M5. Got loads of time to go. Could be probably a couple of hours before I'm in bed. I reckon 1 o'clock at the earliest. Just wondering if anybody's out there. Might be a bit late for you guys. You might be in bed already, tucked up, nice and warm. Oh man, roadworks 30 miles an hour for what you want to see. But we'll live with it. Let's see if there's any comments. Some comments, I'll chat. No comments, I might give it up and try again in a few minutes. It's a bit dark on there, isn't it? Hey, Mark Smith, how'd you enjoy the game? Well, mate, certainly didn't enjoy the first half. That was hard work. Second half wasn't too bad. After about, when we scored that first goal, second half was pretty good. And it kind of got more mental as the game went on, as we scored goals. And when we scored that winner, the away end was mental. We were just jumping up and down. Absolutely crazy it was, mate. But hey, cracking game overall. I mean, we were lucky. We were at the end where all 5 goals were scored. So we got a pretty good view of them. And probably at the end where most of the attacking was, to be honest. I mean, first half is mostly Swansea had obviously the opportunities to score, and they did. And second half, we had we were well on top second half. Hit the post. I think Gabby hit the post. Sergio had a goalie saved Sergio short. We had chances that went wide. So a lot of action in the Swansea box. And obviously, as I said, as the game went on, there was more and more action in the Swansea box, and you can argue we were lucky a bit to get the win, but to be honest, you just make your own luck. Hi, that's from Ethan. I might not be able to get all your names. As I said, there's no lights on the coach. I don't think you're allowed to travel with lights on at night. It can be very confusing to the drivers. I have no idea where we are. We're going into it. Hopefully, we're not going into services again. We've already stopped once, and a 5-minute stop turn into 20. So, come on, guys, keep your comments coming in. Help keep me awake for a little bit longer, because it is hard work. These games are hard work. Late night, getting back. It's a shame that we're playing at 5:20. You can just see it with United get that. Playing at Wolves are playing late, but they get on. Do you think City deserved it, or do you think we got lucky? And do you think we'll win all 4? Look, people say you make your own luck. We had 22 shots, looking at the stats, 9 on target. We had 2 shots on target. So, we had, was it 69% possession? So, looking at all the stats, I mean, stats aren't everything, but we had obviously a lot of the ball. And in the end, we did deserve it. I mean, Swansea played a good game, played very, very well. Defensively, very good, but we deserved it in the end. Can we win all 4? Anything can happen. Messi or Ronaldo to join City? Messi every day of the week for me. Pep would get him to tick even more than he's ticking now. And Messi would be really rapt to be playing for Pep again, but he's never coming. Ronaldo's never coming, Messi's never coming. But for me, Messi's comfortably from the world has ever seen. Favourite City player, all-time favourite City player is David Silva. The guys, they don't call him a magician for nothing. He's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, comfortably the best. KDB, he might catch him. Bernardo Silva, the way he's going, he's only what, 24 years old, something like that. By the time he's 30, he might have caught him. Do you go to a lot of games? Yeah, I go to a lot of games. I got a season ticket for many years, so I go to most of the home games. And I go to plenty of away games, work and family permitting. I've got 2 young kids, so that's going to be careful. What are my feelings on Mahrez? Do you really want to know? Would you swap Sterling and Leroy and Mahrez for Mbappe? Well, feelings on Mahrez, he's not playing well at City. He's hardly ever, in my opinion, played well at City. The best games he's had have been in the Cup, usually against lower league teams. He was poor today for me. He's not doing enough. He doesn't excite me when he gets the ball. It doesn't make me get that buzz. Bernardo Silva, when he plays on the right, he excites me. Raheem Sterling, when he plays on the right, he excites me. Sane excites me. Even when he doesn't have good games, he excites me. Ahmad Giroud, I think Mahrez was terrible. Yeah, mate. I mean, I have to agree. That's why he was hooked. He's just not doing the business. He's got a tremendous amount of skill, but he's letting himself down. And in this City team right now, you know, he helped, I feel, contribute with several other players. I mean, Sane was hooked, Delph was hooked, Laporte wasn't great, so yeah, it's not great. Are you getting close rate? Oh, we've got probably 2 hours to go. He's not giving 50% what he did. Yeah, he's not doing it, mate. He's not doing it. You know, Leicester, it was easy. He was a big fish in a small pond. Yeah, and you can get away with mistakes. You can get away with poor performances as long as you do one bit of magic. He's not doing it for City. Well said, Mahrez just doesn't look like a City player, unfortunately. He could be, but for me, he's got to be consistently brilliant. Sterling is. Who would you sign in the summer? Ndombele is my first choice. Yeah, I mean, the most important thing for us is to get a defensive midfielder. An extra centre back, that'd be useful. A left back, that'd be useful, and another striker too. But for me, Ndombele all day long. Safe journey on the way back. Yeah, cheers, mate. I have a season ticket, but I like going Champions League. You can go Champions League, mate. You know, home games. If you've got a season ticket, you should be able to get a home ticket. And the away tickets. Every game in the Champions League this season for City away, you could have got a ticket if you wanted to. If you've got some purchase history or you're a season ticket holder, you could have gone to every single away game. I had tickets to them all. Sadly, I couldn't go because of family reasons. I've got 2 young lads, and sometimes things crop up. If my wife has to go away with work, it's impossible for me to go. I think there is a better atmosphere in the Champions League. Could well be. I think it's going to be big atmospheres now with playing Tottenham, an English team. Any news on KDB? Sadly, no news yet. I mean, I suspect a lot of our injured guys will be ready by the end of the international break. Wolves beat the Rags. Yeah, we were watching that on the coach on our phones. It's fantastic, you know. Rags weren't good enough. End of the day, I still think Lindelof should have been sent off. It was a terrible tackle. Took both the guy's legs. I mean, it was horrible. Yeah, Leonard, London having a good laugh. Yeah, lolling the way. It's great to see United get beat. Actually, on the coach, people were kind of in 2 minds. Half of us were really happy they got beat. I mean, there was a bit of cheering going on every time Wolves scored. But also people said they'd like to play United because they're rubbish. If we win 4 titles, Man United triple, yeah, Man United triple would mean a lot less. Pep or Ferguson? Pep for me. Ferguson was, I mean, you got your blue tinted specs on as well, because obviously we love Pep and we love what he's doing here, and we hate Ferguson for what Ferguson's done. Sadly, guys, there's been a pretty bad accident on the road here. I'm not gonna show you that. So yeah, cars had a crash here. It's not something, you know, I'm not gonna show any of that. On the roundabout, hope they're all alright. Fingers crossed that they are. Sorry, I've not been reading your messages because of that accident. Well done on your win, cheers mate, hope they're alright. Yeah, me too, fingers crossed. I don't think it was too serious. There's an ambulance there, but my feeling was, you know, they probably had a very lucky escape. And pretty much like United, if we'd played them the way we can play. You know, if they'd got through, and yeah, they'd have had a lucky escape as well to avoid us. So I don't know if it's good for them to get knocked out to avoid, you know, a beating at our hands. Fingers crossed. We'll keep on doing well in all competitions. I know you're asking, guys, can we win all 4? Very, very difficult. Andy says he doesn't believe we can. He believes we can, but he doesn't think we will. And I probably agree with him, because look, if we win all our league games, we win the league. We got 2. FA Cup is only 2 wins away from winning the FA Cup at Wembley. So fingers crossed. You know, Wembley, it's a nice big pitch, well maintained pitch, yeah. You know, you'll get teams who'll go there who'll be nervous if that's your first time. You know, let's say we play Brighton. Most of Brighton's players will never have played there. Same with Wolves. I mean, they played in the. You know, some of these players might have played in the playoff final or whatever. But from other clubs, most of them haven't played at Wembley. Oh, that's a long message. Weekly live show for an hour or 2 to have. Yeah, questions like, look, we're doing it quite a lot ever since the Watford game. We've generally been in a lot of Q&As, and we're hoping that at a home game that finishes at a decent time, not an evening game. Both Andy and me will go on live. We'll have a chat with all you guys, maybe for an hour. It's just going to depend on obviously various factors, on the weather. If it's freezing, we might not. United have history, and City are making it. Exactly. I spoke to a United fan yesterday, leaving the gym. I'd been doing some work in the gym. This guy had taken his kids, and big chap he was, who does no exercise, and he wanted to talk about United's history. And I said, mate, I'm looking forwards, you're looking backwards. I'm interested in what's going on now. I'm interested in what's going on in the future. I can't be bothered looking at the past, and especially things that happened 25, 30 years ago. You know, yes, United have won a lot of stuff, but you've got to remember, and they want to forget this, they don't want to be reminded that they won a lot since 1992. That's all United have now. Yeah, I mean, they got a lot of money, and they got a lot of fans, and they got a lot of history, but history is different. They talk about history, winning trophies, as if that makes you history. It doesn't. Winning trophies is winning trophies. History is just, it happens. Delph was appalling. Well, he didn't have a good game. You know, you could see mistakes waiting to happen. Honestly, Barcelona players celebrated when they got Man United. Probably they did, Mr. Unknown. Go back to Delph. He had a poor game. When that ball was flighted across to their winger, you could see Delph was going too close. What do you think about plastic fans, or do you think it's all right? Hey, you know, plastic fans is just a jibe thrown, easy jibe thrown at people. Don't tend to like fans who jump ship just because their team's losing and move on to the next thing. Too long a message that, mate. But since we have drawn Tottenham in the Champions League, do you think we can win all the games? Yeah, we can beat Spurs. I mean, we're, I think, a much better team. Hopefully you lot win the quadruple. It'd be amazing to see the greatest achievement ever in the league. I agree. And that's it. Yo. So most of these, you've got to do really short questions, guys. And if your name's long, I can't read that out either. So just keep the questions as brief as possible, because the longer they are, the harder it is for me to read them. Why are you saying that you are a Liverpool fan? Don't know who that point is to. Obviously Liverpool fans on the channel, but you can get good Liverpool fans, and Chris Welch is a decent Liverpool fan. I think it will come down to our mental strength. It looks like we've got a lot of mental strength. I mean, to come back today from 2-0 down, that we had to dig deep, and we had to throw in the big guns. That's Chris. Yeah, we had to. Chris is a Liverpool fan, but he seems to be quite decent, so I'll leave him alone. Yeah, we had to throw in the big guns. We had to throw in Aguero, Zinchenko. I mean, he's a big gun now, and Raheem Sterling. So real big guns we had to throw on to dig deep to get that victory today. There's more to come though. Oh, absolutely. You know, this team's going to get better and better and better. Can you imagine Zinchenko in a couple of years' time? Mr. Unknown, your questions are too long. Rumours, Real Madrid want a few City players. Well, they can get lost. They can have, if Gundogan wants to go, they can have Gundogan. They'll not be getting Sterling or Zinchenko. Company, I think he was an amazing player, but this season I think it's time to leave. I don't think he'll leave. I think he'll get that 1-year extension. He's got a testimonial next season. I think he'll want to be one of our players for that. You think Fabian Delph isn't good enough for City anymore? Fabian Delph, like Andy said, he's not played that much recently, and he was very good last season. But same as Zinchenko, and people kind of overlook and ignore this point, is they both have mistakes in them because they don't know how to play left back. Chris Wells, I'm saying it because it hasn't happened before. Yes, thanks Chris, so that's quadruple. Zinchenko and Delph haven't played left back. Keep the good work, mate. Cheers. Thanks very much. Fabian Delph in midfield, not left back. Yep, I agree. What about England? Do you live? Well, all right, I live up near Manchester. What's your opinion on Walker? Walker, he's had an in and out season. He was brilliant last season, but he's not been great this season. I mean, we live. I think this Swansea game is over 200 miles away, so it does take a long time to get back on the motorways with roadworks and stuff. And yeah, so as I was saying, Zinchenko and Delph, they're not left backs. They do make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes, and we kind of pick on them when they make those mistakes. I think Zinchenko seems to have leapt above Fabian Delph. Fabian Delph's had problems with injury. He always seems to have problems with injury. And with temperament, because he's been sent off this season. He was sent off last season. He makes rash tackles. He's given penalties away. And he really shouldn't be doing that. So I think it is potentially Zinchenko could get ahead of him in pecking order. What are the chances City don't get banned? We don't know. I mean, we need more information. Chelsea got a transfer ban. What's the City ban for? This transfer ban, yeah, but it's low end of the pecking order for the midfield. Yeah, Delph is way down the pecking order for the midfield. You know, if he's not good enough for left back or good enough for midfield, what's he at City for? I mean, I expect him to stay. I don't think he'll leave unless Pep's really unhappy with him with his attitude. Potential. We have two issues with the. Let's have a look, Mr. Hunter. Do you expect Liverpool to drop points against Spurs? Don't know. Spurs are a good team, but they've been on a bad run of form in the league. We got two investigations with that could potentially give us a transfer ban. The FA are investigating a payment to Jadon Sancho agent when Jadon Sancho was 14. City say it was for scouting work, but the Spiegel saying it's to cover up a payment to the agent, which was not allowed. What could the FA do? More than likely, all the FA would do would be to ban us for 1 or 2 windows, or even up to 2 years from signing kids under 16 or 18, like Liverpool have had a ban. Tarasi, mate. And the FIFA, they're looking at a couple of things. They're looking at third-party ownership with the Dream Academy, the Dream to Win or something Academy. I think that was from Nigeria, sending kids to Norway or somewhere up in one of the Scandinavian countries. So there's an issue there, and there's also an issue about signing underage players. Now Chelsea were found apparently guilty on 29 counts, and they ended up with a 2 transfer window ban. FIFA originally wanted a 2-year ban, and it ended up being a 12-month ban. Yeah, mate, City, the atmosphere was great. Yeah, well, not in the first half. The atmosphere was great in the second half when we started banging those goals in. So FIFA, you know, what could happen? We could end up with a 1 or 2 window ban, but you know, we don't know what's going to happen until we get some more information. You know, I never believe generally what I read in the papers. I mean, they speculate a lot. What a game that was! Genuinely insane. Yeah, Phil. Absolutely crazy game. You know, the way we played the first half, you never thought we had a chance. We thought if we carried on the same way in the second half, we'd have got paced in. But fortunately, we came through. Ray, Superman, Goal City. Yeah, mate. Well, it's 11:10 here on the coach. How much did it cost you for your ticket? Today's ticket, I think, was a cheap ticket actually. I think off the top of my head it was £17.50, something like that. So it's a very cheap ticket for an away game. It's very good that the league games are capped at 30 quid. £30, that's all it is for a league game. How much is your bus? My bus was, I think it was 32 quid. It's a long way, 32 quid plus the ticket, so it's 50 quid. Peanuts, yeah, 50 quid all in. My food, the food being today is probably costing about 30 quid. so probably spent, you know, as much on food as on my coach. But yeah, I mean, it's good value today. It's very, very good value. 50 quid all round. League games are 30 quid a ticket. Does your wife enjoy football? No, she hates football. My wife now, because you know you're away a lot, and she was never into football. But I got to say this. I tell people this. They can't believe it. The first game of football my wife ever went to see live. My sons, yeah, they play football. They play football for the school. The first game of football that my wife ever went to see was the World Cup semi-final in 1998, because she's French, and that was held in France. But the first game of football my wife ever went to see was the World Cup semi-final, and the second game she ever went to see was the World Cup final in France. Can City postpone the ban? If they get a ban, we just don't. We're not allowed to, whilst they appealed. In the past, I think one or two teams have managed to delay it whilst they've appealed, but I just think it just depends on FIFA and the severity of the wrongdoing. Do you celebrate France when they look? Oh, of course, we all celebrated. Once England were out, then we were all for France. No appeal. I don't know if City can appeal. City can appeal to the Court of Arbitration for Sport in Switzerland. CAS, CAS. But we just don't know. There's too much speculation going on. What do you think of De Ligt as a signing? It'd be fantastic. But there's talk he might go to Barcelona. I mean, go there to be with his mate Frankie de Jong. So Ajax, whatever happens, they're going to ask for a shed load of money, and that City might just say no. If Matthijs de Ligt asks for a shed load of money too, that'll break our wage structure. We might not go for it. City need a few new players. I won't say badly. I mean, we've won the Carabao Cup. We're in the semi-finals of the FA Cup. We're top of the league. We're in the quarter-finals of the Champions League. So I don't think we badly need them. There's a few players we do need. We do need a left back, because Mendy can't be, sadly, he can't be relied on because of his injuries. We need a defensive midfielder because Fernandinho's, I think, 34. And I'd like a new striker just to add to the numbers, and another centre back because Kompany's injured a lot. Otamendi's in his 30s. Garcia's coming through. You know, I think he'll be a star. It might take him another couple of years, but we might see him being introduced next season. He was on the bench today.
Was it you before?
Just wondering, yeah. I mean, let's not wonder too much about this. The bans from FIFA or from the FA, from signing players. You know, we need to know a lot more information, and we're just guessing. Let's be honest. Wow, it's a long question from you. Do you reckon we stick with Zinchenko? Obviously, Zinchenko's, we're going to stick with him. Kimmich is a good player, but I think we stick with Zinchenko. The players out of the youth can do a job. Yep. As I said, Garcia's only 18. He's coming through. He looks like a player. We've got Douglas Luiz as a defensive midfielder. He's out of Girona. He'd have been with us this season, but he just couldn't get his work permit, and Pep was really unhappy about that because we really believed he was going to get that work permit. He didn't get the work permit, so he had to go out on loan to Girona. But I think he'll be back next season, and he'll be starting to be integrated into the team. So I'm hoping we get Ndombele as a defensive midfielder, and Douglas Luiz comes back, and he'll be like an understudy to Fernandinho and Ndombele, and I think that'll be a great for Douglas Luiz to be in that position. We spent a lot of money on him. I think 10.5 million quid. Is there a joint channel with many people, or is it just yours? What about joint channel? There's Andy and me. This is our channel. We run it, and we own the channel. And if it was the questions about the bus, there's a lot of people on this bus. This bus is full. There's about 50 people on it. I don't know why people are hating on Mahrez. It's his first season with the squad and under Pep, blah blah blah. Yeah, Andy's my mate. Yeah, Mahrez. I don't think people are hating on him. They're really disappointed because this is a great team, City, and you know, if you want to play for this team, you've got to come in and you've got to do the business straight away. Sane didn't do the business today. He got hooked 10-15 minutes into the second half, same as Mahrez. You've got to do the business, and if you're not doing the business, there's a lot of players available to do the business. So one good thing about Mahrez coming, I think he pushed Sterling to a new level as well. hates him, but he shouldn't have taken a penalty in our opinion. You know, he should have let somebody else take it. Sorry, there's a bit of lag, guys. We're on the bus. We've got no proper Wi-Fi here. Next game, we're at Fulham away. I'll be there. Yeah, his fan base can get a little bit noisy. We're playing at Fulham on the 30th of March, so I'll be down there for that game. And then off the top of my head, we've got Spurs in the Champions League, and then we got the FA Cup. So there's a lot of games going on in a short space of time. And then we got 3 or 4 games on the bounce in London, because we got Palace away on the Monday of Easter week, so a lot going on. Hello from Canada. Hello, mate. I don't know if you speak French over there, but bonjour, mon ami. Bonjour, mon ami. Get some sleep, bro. Are you working hard? Yeah, mate, I was up at 6. It's 11:15. I won't be home in bed till 1 o'clock. And knowing me, I'll be up between 7 and 8 in the morning. If the weather's nice, to go for a run. Fulham away for the PL. Yeah, that's next game. All right, I'm off now. Cheers, mate. See you, Ethan. Yeah, Fulham away on the 30th of March. I'll be there down in London. And as I said, I think we've got. I can't remember. I think we've got Fulham away, and then we've got a game against in the FA Cup. Who was your best City coach? That's really hard to say. I mean, I think comfortably now it's Pep. I loved it with Roberto Mancini, though. I love Roberto Mancini because, you know, most City fans have got a very big space in their heart for Roberto Mancini because he took it to Ferguson. You know, managers in the past were always kind of scared and give him too much respect, and Mancini gave him nothing. And he put together a great team that won the league, won the FA Cup for us. So you got to be happy with it. Thoughts on KK? I love KK. I absolutely love Kevin Keegan because of his positive energy. And with him, you felt we could do anything. I mean, he took us up into the Premier League, and he did quite well. Best thing travelling on the coach, yeah, it's toilets. Well, I'm sat next to it, it's a bit smelly. Pep goes, bring back Bobby. I don't think that can happen. I agree with you, Ray, mate. Yeah, I don't think Bobby will come back. I think his time and his style has gone. You know, he couldn't do his style at City now. I don't think he'd be allowed to. And Pep will stay as long as he wants. Henry, Shearer, Aguero, of course. Shearer, great that though he was, his records are built on being grandiose, but I'll go with Serge. I think he's got a better goals to minutes ratio than Henry, but Henry was fantastic. Man City makes me a person. I love Man City so much. Yeah, Shane, we all love Man City. We bleed blue. Love you guys. And you should tell your mates, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, tell them, you know, you subscribe right now, hit the bell icon, get notified as soon as new videos come out. Tell your mates about us. You know, we're doing more and more live stuff, live streaming. We go to just about every single game we can. What's the best City game you have been to? Mine is when we beat PSG 1-0 in the Champions League. Well, to be honest, one of the best is that Liverpool game a few months ago on the 3rd of January. That was an awesome game because, you know, they could have pulled away. If they'd won that or even drawn, I think the league would have been gone pretty much. And the atmosphere was incredible that night. 6-1. 6-1 was great as well, but I just think back to that Liverpool game, the atmosphere was unbelievable. Ray, would you rather if we won Premier League? Premier League every time. Want to win the Premier League every season that we can. That's, I always said, it's our bread and butter. It shows you've been the best over 9 or 10 months, 38 games. Champions League, I mean, let's be honest, Champions League, you got 2 matches now and a final, 2 ties and a final. With a bit of luck, I mean, you can get through with just 1 win. Let's be honest, you can get two draws, win the final 1-0, and you're the champions. It's a knockout competition. You have a bad 30 minutes, you're out. A City Liverpool final would be beautiful. It would be even more beautiful if Liverpool get knocked out. Do you think Jesus could be our future striker? He still needs to work on his game. Who do you think is coming up next season in the Premier League? I mean, I'm expecting obviously Norwich. Leeds to come up, Leeds or Sheffield United. I think Norwich just about home and host. Sheffield United are coming up on the rails, good run of form. Leeds have got the points on the board, but you know, it's anybody's guess. But those three, I think those three deserve to be up there. They're well clear of the rest, and it'd be very good. Sheffield United would be a good game. They've got a lot of fans, a lot of passionate fans, same as Leeds. Norwich, they've been out for a couple of seasons, the Premier League, 3 seasons or whatever. So it'll be interesting. It's a long journey over to Norfolk. Got to get to Norwich. A long journey, guys. What time is it now? 20 past 11. Absolutely knackered. Can you imagine driving this yourself and going, getting up at 6 and driving 4 or 5 hours down to a game and then driving 4 or 5 hours back? It's blooming hard work. I've done it many times. Safe trip back. That's Andy, I think. Rags out, and they were talking. Yeah, look, mate, the Rags can beat Barcelona. They beat PSG. A lot of luck involved. PSG will bob. Absolute bobbing second game, their home game. They should have gone for United, but they didn't, and they thought they could just play defensive and get it. But they could beat Barcelona. You absolutely never know in football. I mean, Swansea nearly knocked City out tonight. You just don't know what's going to happen, mate. But I hope Barcelona win. You want football to win. Good, Andy's on the live chat, and he'll hopefully answer some of your questions, because some of you guys, you write too quick, you write too much, and as Andy said before, these messages only stay up for a few seconds, and if someone writes a big message, that takes up the full screen. A lot of emergency activity outside. Any transfers next season for City? Well, I mean, we need a defensive midfielder. I think that's definitely going to happen. If we, let's ignore the potential transfer ban. Ndombele is, I think, most of our #1 targets for most of us as a defensive midfielder. We need someone to cover for Fernandinho. We see sometimes, like today, I think Gundogan, he can do a good job, but if you put pressure on him, if you don't give him space and time, it's very hard. And I don't think he's got the stamina and the pace to get up and down quickly. And Ndombele, I believe, has got all of that and more. He's a box-to-box midfielder. He's got power, he's got pace, he's got strength. He can dribble, he can shoot, he can do tackle, he can do everything. Mara's is a transition season, yeah. We've got to give him another season just to see what he can do, because he didn't get a proper pre-season because most of our players were at the World Cup. So his pre-season was with Leroy Sané and the kids. Well, that's not pre-season. Are we looking for that striker in the Bundesliga? Jovic, Luka Jovic, I think. I think a lot of people are looking at him. Werner as well, maybe, but Luka Jovic, I think a lot of people are looking at him. So he's going to be expensive, because once you get 3 or 4 teams involved, a guy that might cost you 20 million suddenly becomes worth 50 million quid. So, Ben Chilwell, in my opinion, he's a 20 million to 30 million tops defender. If he goes this summer, he'll go for 50 million. It's just the way it is now. Once there's a lot of interest around a player and a lot of big clubs are interested, the price just goes up and up and up. And Ndombele, City apparently bid for him last summer. We bid about 40-45 million quid. Lyon said no. They knew what they had on their hands. They knew he'd be much better this season. Left back, yeah, we need a defensive midfielder left back. Rodgers won't let him go. Well, Rodgers got no choice, mate. And if the money's right and the player wants to leave, he'll leave. I'm only City fan at my college. I am proud to be a City fan. Yeah, shame. Be proud, because when I went to school, just about all my friends and everybody in school was a Liverpool fan or United fan. There was hardly any City fans. There might have been a couple of us, and that's it. So it was tough times growing up as a kid in the 70s and 80s with Liverpool, United, and the 90s as well. But it's our time now, guys. It's our time. The time is for us. Sorry, can't get my words out there. So we'll do well. keep your questions coming in. And if the questions dry up, I might disappear. Werner. Well, if you're written Warner, mate, Warner plays cricket for Australia. Well, he used to before he got banned. I think you mean Timo Werner. What happened to Ryan Bertrand? I think we were probably looking at him. I think his time's gone as well. You know, Ryan Bertrand. If we want anybody now, we want young players. Ben Chilwell's, I think, 22. So we want young players who can develop and be with us for a long time. You know, we want. You know, if you look at our defence now, Garcia coming through, he's 18. Stones, I think, is 24. Laporte is 24 or 25. Walker's, I think, 28. Zinchenko, 22. Mendy's about 24. All young players who can be with us for probably 4 or 5 more years at least. I mean, Walker's the oldest at 28, and then the next oldest proper defender, if you forget Kompany and Otamendi, is about 24 or 25. So those guys can be with us for years. Yeah, Garcia was on the bench. Yeah, Garcia's on the bench. You know, he was close to getting a game, I think. I think if if we'd got, say, 3-0 after 60 minutes, if we were 3-0 up, I could see Foden and Gath. Hey, we weren't, so they didn't. And we had to send the big guns on to rescue the game for us guys. Shame, yeah, I would have loved to see him play. What's your favourite Man City derby, Matt? 6-1? Well, 6-1 was a great game. A lot of good derbies. I mean, winning 1-0 when we won the league with Vinny Kompany's header, that was a great derby. The 5-1 from many, many years ago, that was a great derby. The 4-1 when Sean Wright-Phillips scored the last goal, fantastic. Another 4-1 when we won at the Etihad when David Moyes was at United. 3-0 at their place when Moyes was there. I mean, there's so many good victories. Absolutely. One at the FA Cup semi-final when we beat them, Mario's wink. I love that Mario's wink. 6-1 forever. There's lots, as I said. You know, we could probably rattle off 10 cracking derby wins in recent times, or going back to the 80s. Great to beat United. Great to rub it in when we can. Any more for any more? Got a decent number of you here. Let's go. I love. Well, Shane. Yeah, we all love. What do you love, Shane? Let us know, Shane Card. What's your ETA back home? Well, to be honest, no idea where we are. But I reckon it'll be another hour and a half before we get back to where the cars are parked. Wolves absolutely smashed them. Well, I didn't watch the first half. I watched about the first 5 minutes, and then I watched a bit of the second half. And United were on top until Wolves scored. From what I saw, Man City seriously affects my health. Yeah, it was hard work today. I love to annoy United fans, but it was hard work today. That, you know, got the heart rate going. A lot of people were very angry in that first half when we were playing really poorly. A lot of angry people, a lot of very bad language, a lot of you know, punching and kicking seats and whatever. A lot of angst. 2-0 up till the last. Yeah. I mean, they could have been even more behind United, but full credit to Wolves. They're doing really well. I think they were 8th in the league this season so far. Semi-finals of the FA Cup. Absolutely amazing season for them. Considering it's their first season back in the Premier League after being in the Championship for a few years. It's absolutely fantastic for them. Any more for any more, guys? Let's have a look around. Trying to do it for 42 is that it? PFA Player of the Year, I reckon that'll go to Van Dijk for the wrong reasons. You can argue he's had a good season, but if City got Sterling, Aguero and Bernardo Silva in the reckoning, you know, I can see them splitting the City vote and ending up with Van Dijk. But it also depends what happens in the next 7 or 8 games of the season. And if Sergio bangs in 2 more hat-tricks, it's going to be hard to deny him. If Sterling scores 5 more goals and creates 3 or 4 more assists, then it's hard to deny him. If City win the quadruple, You know, it's hard to deny a City player from being Player of the Year. But I can see, you know, everybody's bigging up Van Dijk and they forget his mistakes, and they're only interested in the good stuff he does. Got to also look at the bad stuff he does. I mean, my dad a City fan, but my brother is an Everton fan. It's not wrong being an Everton fan, Shane. They're playing blue. It's good for them. Speaking of Serge, how many times has that man bailed us out of jail? Yeah, you think back, are we going to get banned? I don't think so, no more. If we do, I'm not worried about it either. Sergio's bailed us out. Look at that hat-trick he scored in Munich against Bayern to beat them 3-2 when we needed to win. That guy saved us many, many times. I was there for his debut with my son, our little boy. He was only 2 years old for Sergio Aguero's debut. Fantastic. Don't think I'd have been able to cope. That's Harry, and I don't know what Harry's talking about. Aguero, yeah, fantastic. Aguero's a great player. He's come up with the goods time and time again. Imagine we actually win all four. It'd be incredible. Chris Welch is a disgrace to our fan. Come on, mate. Yeah, it's all a bit of banter. It's all a bit of fun. Ray, what's your thoughts in the CL? Glad Spurs. We don't have to travel too far. It's cheap for our fans to go to, and for the team, we stay in the country. I think that helps us. Yeah, Max. You put some Max timed out. If you write some disgusting stuff, that'll happen. Even if City gets sanctioned, I'll still be an American bleeding Scarborough. That's it. I don't worry about. We need to know more about what's been investigated. What's been alleged against City by FIFA seems to be a lot less bad, let's say. It's not as bad as what was alleged against Chelsea, and they got a 2-window ban. I'm hopeful if we get anything, it'll be a 1-window ban, and I'm hopeful it'll be a Christmas, transfer window ban. If we can get through this summer, sign 2 or 3 more players, that should see us right for the next few seasons, to be honest. Well, guys, I reckon, could the ban be a bit of a blessing in disguise and it could bring some youth through, but look, we can't worry too much about it. We just got no idea what's going to happen. We don't know if we're going to get sanctioned and what that sanction will be. There's lots of ifs, buts and maybes and suppositions. It's not worth it. We're just guessing, let's be quite honest, at the end of the day. My feeling is if we get something from FIFA, it'll be 1 or 2 year ban, 1 or 2 transfer window ban. If we get anything from the FA, that'll just be, we won't be allowed to under 16-year-olds for 1 or 2 transfer windows. I don't think either's going to hurt City massively. But you can see we've got a great squad at the moment, and it'll help bring a couple of youngsters through, so I'm not so worried. Yeah, I think Kompany will stay for 1 more year. Financial and legal experts said it's unlikely, right, Ray? Yeah, I don't think FFP, worst you'd get, I think with FFP you might get another fine, but I don't think so. I don't think it's going to be any impact. It's going to be very hard for them to kick us out of the Champions League. I think they'll come up to if anything happens, there'll be another settlement agreement. There'll be an agreement between City and UEFA. If we beat Spurs, what are the chances of beating Juve? Hey, chances are there. We're not a poor team. We're a pretty good team. So can we beat Juve? Of course we can. Can Juve beat City? Of course they can. Juve are a good team. City are a good team. So let's not take anything for granted. I don't take anything for granted. Even today, I said, Swansea are not a bad team. I was chatting to the kids sitting next to me, and people saying, "Oh yeah, Swansea are 15th in the Championship. They're not doing well." Look. Before, in the last 5 games, they've only won 1 and lost 4, so they're on a bad run. But before that, they were that bad run has caused them to slide down the table. So that's been unfortunate for them. And they've got some good players. They've got a decent manager, and to get to the quarterfinals, you have to do well. Yeah, Ronaldo might galvanise them, and I think that's one of the reasons they've got him to try and take them to the next level. Juve need to beat Ajax, of course. I mean, Ajax beat Real Madrid, so they're not a bad team. Anything can happen. Absolutely anything can happen. Now I'm going to try and get a drink from my bottle of water here, so it might go a bit wobbly for a bit, but I need a drink, guys. Do I think we'll win the quadruple? Yeah, there's a chance, but yes, we can win it. I don't think we will. Any young German player you want in the Premier League? We've got him. We've got Leroy Sané. He's the German player that I want. I'm not really looking at anybody else. We've got great players. Quadruple, we can, as I said, we can win it, but it's very, very hard. I can see us winning 1 or 2 more trophies this season. Ajax are a good team. You got to give them credit. I mean, they beat a poor Madrid team, but they did what they had to do with all that pressure away from home. Yep, I wouldn't say no to City versus Barcelona in the final. It'd be a cracking game, and it would also mean that United and Liverpool have been knocked out. Need Mendy, KDB, Fernandinho 100% fit with the quadruple. Yeah, we need everybody as fit as possible out of the PL, FA Cup and Champions League. What do you want to win? Premier League, that's my first choice. Evening. You're a bit late. Is that Iona Beats? Yeah, a bit late. I mean, it's 20 to 12 hour. So I see everybody's cool. Yeah, I want to win the Premier League. That's my #1 trophy. Then probably the Champions League, and then the FA Cup in that order currently. How close is Mendy? Well, apparently Mendy's been training this week, so Ray's at home. He's not really here. Cheers, mate, you cheeky so-and-so. I'm the invisible man today. I'd rather win the Premier League than the Champions League, but we can do it though. Yeah, we can do it. We're a good team. We've got a good squad, the best squad in England, possibly the best squad in Europe. And if we don't get a transfer ban and we get some more players in this summer, I think we'll have definitely the best squad going forwards. A young squad. Look at all those young players. We can't see. Well, it's really dark, mate. You know. Outside it's dark, it's raining, and on the coach, you can't put the lights on really. As I said, I think it's dangerous to put the lights on at night when you're driving. It confuses other drivers, and yeah, so you know, we just go with what we've got, guys. I can't do anything about it, you know. How far are you from Manchester? Just curious. I'm curious too. It's that dark. I can't see anything, mate. Yeah, you know, Champions League is there for the taking this season. Yeah, I mean, Madrid have won it 4 out of the last 5 seasons. They're gone. They kind of saved themselves for the Champions League. So with them out, you know, with Bayern out, well, they're a poor Bayern team. So anybody can win it. Can I ask you? Did Jorginho and Sanchez pick another team over City? Because yeah, they did. Look, and we pulled out because they were greedy. Yeah, I tell you what, I'm not driving, mate. I'm not driving. I'm not that silly to drive and sit here looking at my phone as well. Yeah, Jorginho and Fred as well, and Sanchez, they just got greedy, asking for too much money. And as soon as you start doing that, City, you know, they say you're in it for the wrong reasons. We don't want you. We want you to play for City for the right reasons. And so far we've been proved right. I like the old shirts more than new shirts. Yeah, I like a lot of the old shirts, you know, going back when Umbro were doing them. I loved them. I love that beautiful red and black shirt. Honestly, I want the Champions League. I'd always take the PL, but I want Europe. Yeah, we all want Europe. If you look to one of the videos I did earlier today with Shez, he said he was greedy. He wanted everything. He wanted everything because we've been through so many times when we had now nothing, nada, nil. zilch. Now he wants to win as much as he possibly can. And so do I. I want to win whatever we can, you know. I'm 50 years old. I've been through, you know, 30 odd years. We won nothing, so I want to win whatever we can. How was the atmosphere of the City? Second half atmosphere was mint. If City didn't exist, what team do you think you would be supporting? Absolutely no idea. To be honest, it'd be one of the red teams because the rest of my family and all my friends supported Liverpool United. And to be honest, I'm glad City exists because I love them. Are you glad you're not against the Sky? Says, yeah, I mean, look, we'll play whoever we have to. They did nothing at their place, so we've shown that we can do it. Got that resilience and resolve to do it. My grandma was in Vienna the last time we won something in Europe. Blimey, last time City won something in Europe was back in 1971, I do believe that, or 1970, Cup Winners' Cup final, 1970, and we won the League Cup and the Cup Winners' Cup final. I prefer to win the Premier League, but boy, would it upset more people if we win. Yeah, look, if we win anything, whatever we win upsets people. And sometimes that's quite enjoyable. I remember when we won the FA Cup in 2011 against Stoke. Good days, oh, great time, Shane. You know, especially beating United in the semi, fantastic. Swansea to into Dolby after this. Well, look, actually, it was the FA's decision not to use VAR in this game. Now, Swansea's ground, the Liberty Stadium, they have the facilities for VAR. But the FA decided that only home teams that were in the Premier League teams would use the VAR in the FA Cup. That was their choice, okay? So, tough titties, it's the FA's fault that VAR wasn't used today. Thanks, FA. Yeah, thanks to the FA, it was their choice. YC, thanks for the... Yeah, no worries, mate. Blame the FA, can't blame City, you can't even blame Liverpool and the other Premier League teams. It's the FA's choice. Look, Luis, we pulled through. Yeah, I mean, you know, look, I don't think our penalty was a penalty, and Sergio was offside, definitely offside, but we take it. Clear path. Wolves are not a pushover, nobody's a pushover. Look, anybody who gets a semi-final of the FA Cup, you've got to have something about you to get there. You've got to have some belief, some resolve. You've got to have played well. You've got to have some confidence. So don't take anybody lightly. Yeah, definitely Wolves will be a difficult one. I mean, we were chatting on the bus and we were saying we'd probably take Wolves in the semi rather than the final because they might have a bit of nerves going to Wembley. And if they got to the final, maybe they've wiped some of those nerves out by playing in the semi. So to play Wolves in the semi-final might aid City. Might be better for us to do that. Well, guys, you all gone quiet. Have a quick slug of water. That's better. So guys, let us know in the comment section below who you'd like us to play in the FA Cup. You know, there's Wolves there. Yeah, we can't think of the competition to win. How long is the trip? Well, this trip is about 4.5 hours. Do you think we will get banned? Absolutely no idea. I think we might get a transfer ban for 1 or 2 windows. Is Anthony on your bus? I don't know who Anthony is. We win, Chen. Yes, we win. A lot of people on this bus, mate. Were you at Wembley for the playoff? No, I wasn't. I was too young. Will the first leg against Spurs? You missed that, mate. No, I wasn't at the playoff final. I think I was working, sadly. Back in those days, I had to work and had to work hard. Anything's possible, Lenny. Anything's possible. Very dark outside. I mean, what's going to happen is we have to go, we'll get dropped off our team, and then we got to make our way home from there. So I'm about 15 minutes away from our meeting point. UK possible, JK UK possible. Anything's possible, mate. Anything possible. If you work for it, you get a bit of luck. You show the desire and the belief. Anything's possible. So guys, I think I'm just about to wrap up. I mean, there's still plenty of you around, but it's all gone quiet. What Millwall for the FA Cup draw? I heard the fans are pretty extreme. Yeah, I don't really want any trouble. I think we can win all four. Anything's possible. Have a good night, mate. Yeah, Bromhead, anything's possible. We could win all four. It's unlikely though. You know, it's never been done because it's very, very difficult. Every single game, you can slip up and it's all gone. You know, you have a bad 30 minutes in Champions League, you're out. You have a bad 10 or 15 minutes like today in the FA Cup, you're gone. What do you think was the most tense moment? 1998 playoff. Oof, oof. I mean, look, we needed 2 goals in each game. The league, without that playoff, we'd still be dawdling about. I reckon we'd have got back to the Premier League, but we wouldn't be obviously where we are now. That playoff final win got us to where we are. Good night, everyone. Yeah, check in tomorrow. We'll have a lot going on tomorrow. Just gonna put our chances to it, guys. It's been a good hour. Whilst everybody else is going to sleep. Hopefully Andy will do something live tomorrow. I might be in bed. I'm going to Sundays is visiting my mum day and doing some DIY. A lot of work to do to make up for this extended day down in South Wales. But guys, thanks very much. It's been awesome. It's been great. You've been keeping me going. I hope you've had a good time too. Tell your friends, tell your buddies, tell your work colleagues. Nice to see you too, Iona Beats. Tell everybody you know who supports City. Tell mates who don't support City. You know, I don't mind speaking to United fans, so we can make fun of them. No worries, mates. Iona Beats. Nice to see you too. Thanks very much. You're welcome. As I said, tell your mates, get people on our channel, get them to subscribe. It really helps us a lot because it gives us extra motivation. We don't make money, we don't charge anything, we don't make money from our YouTube channel. We're just out there to have a laugh with you guys, have some fun, be informative, give our opinion, listen to your opinions, and take you to games like at Swansea. You know, we want you to see what goes on at games. We do that as much as we can. So tell your friends. You know, we welcome people from whatever football team they support. You know, and as long as it's good, clean debate and banter, we'll have a good time. Which is, guys, we love you all. Great fan cam today. Cheers, Iona Beats. We did our best. Who do you want in the semi-finals, the FA Cup? Don't really mind. And I wanted Brighton. I thought that'd be a nice game for City. You know, they'll probably have a bit of nerves, and hopefully we can get through. But look, we're the best team in the competition that's remaining. And just hope it's a good game, and obviously that we win. But guys, I'm going to sign off. It's been awesome chatting to you tonight, late at night. I have so many of you guys on, and take care of yourselves. Have a good night's sleep if you're over on this side of the Atlantic, and if you're on the other side, have a great evening. And see you, Iona Beats. We'll see you around tomorrow. Hopefully Andy will be around, do another live chat with you, and we'll get ready for our international break.